All right. Hey, good morning, boys and girls. We are going to be taking a look at converting decimals to fractions and fractions into decimals. Converting decimals to fractions is very intuitive, and it makes a lot of sense. You just have to read your decimal out loud. So let's go ahead and look at some examples. So I have our place values listed because it is so critically important to know those, because in order to write all of these numbers in word form, we need to know our decimal place values. So for instance, this is 0 and 3. The 3 is sitting in the tenths place. So this is 0 and 3 tenths. 3 tenths, 3 tenths. That sounds like a fraction. It sounds like the fraction 3 tenths, 3 over 10. 2 and 25 hundredths. Now, why is it hundredths? Because that 5, that last digit, is sitting in the hundredths place value. That sounds like a mixed number, 2 and 25 hundredths. So it's going to be a big 2 because we have two whole things, just like we have two whole things in front of the decimal, and 25 hundredths. We can go ahead and simplify that, and that would be the same thing as 2 1/4. 345 thousandths. That 5 is sitting in the thousandths place value. 345 thousandths. Well, that sounds like a fraction to me. 345 over 1,000. And we can go ahead and simplify that. Let's see, we can divide the top and bottom by 5. 345 thousandths. Yep, we can divide the top and bottom by 5. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and do this mentally. 5 goes into 34 6 whole times. There's 4 left over, so that would be 45. How many times does 5 go into 45? 9 times. And 5 goes into 1,000 200 times. So it would be 69 200ths. So go ahead and in your own words describe how we can go from a decimal to a fraction. And I'll kind of describe it in my words as well. Well, what I'm noticing is that I'm taking my decimal digits, and all I'm doing is that's gonna be my numerator. My denominator will be the place value of the last digit. So in your own words, how do we convert decimals to fractions? The digits behind the decimal become your numerator. The denominator is the place value of the last digit. So let's do one more example, maybe something a little bit tougher, not too terribly tough, but let's say I have 6 hundredths. So I would take this entire number, so that's 6 hundredths, and then I would go ahead and simplify that, and I can divide both of those by 2, and I'd get 3/50ths. So let's go ahead and summarize that on the next page. So let's summarize, how can we convert decimals to fractions? Here's the shortcut, here's how we summarize it. The whole number part of the decimal number becomes the whole number part of your mixed number. Okay, because you're going to have a whole thing and then some. So the whole thing stays the whole thing. The decimal part of your number becomes the fraction piece of the mixed number. So if you have a whole thing and then some, such as if you look here at 189 and 38 thousandths, I have 189 whole things. So my mixed number, I'll have 189 whole things. My decimal is my part of my whole, so therefore that will be my fractional piece. So we read the decimal out loud, or just write down the fraction you hear. You're saying fractions. Again, the decimal part of the number becomes the numerator, and the denominator is the place value where the last digit falls, and we'll simplify if we can. So here I've got 10 whole things and 89 hundredths. 10 and 89 hundredths. I cannot simplify that. So I'm done. 9 tenths is 9 tenths. 189 whole things and 38 thousandths. Now I can simplify this. They're both even, so I know right off the bat I can divide by 2. And we get 189 and 19 500ths. So let's go ahead and do a few examples together. I'll do the first 3 with you. 6 tenths is 6 tenths, which is equivalent to 3 fifths. 10 and 9 tenths, 8 hundredths. Divide by, actually I can divide both by 4, and I get 2 25ths. So that's pretty straightforward. Next we'll work on converting fractions into decimals.